What's up, farmers? We got a few things we need to take care of today, so let's just get into it. Got a few things cooking up. We have a beautiful pea plant right here. We have another pea plant right there. I planted these in early March, and this is where we're at so far. I was hoping they'd be a little bit further along, but unfortunately that is not the case. Also got some seeds starting here in this tray. We're gonna give them a few more days. Can't really tell if any of them have germinated yet, but we will figure that out here soon. So the reason I started those outside is because they are able to grow within, I think the cucumbers are 55 days. So I didn't really want to start those in the grow tent and then have to harden them off. So I just started them here outside, and if you start them outside, when they're ready to go, you can just transplant them and get them growing. So speaking of transplanting / hardening off, I actually do have quite a few plants in the grow tent right now that I'm gonna need to take out of there and set them out in the shade for the first couple days. Then after that, expose them to a little bit of sun. And once they've been in the sun for a little bit, they should be ready to go and be transplanted and be put outside. But right now, they've been in the grow tent since early spring, and if I was to put them outside, then they're probably gonna die within the first day or two of them being out there. So here's what the grow tent's looking like right now. We have a ton of seedlings in this budget arrow garden that I made on my TikTok channel. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that this thing is a beast when it comes to starting plants. I need to start hardening those off. I also need to start hardening off these flowers that my girlfriend planted. They're going to be really cool once I'm able to, transplant them outside. And then we also have another full tray of peppers, tomatoes, a little bit of tobacco, if you know what I mean. And other than that, I just need to harden them off so I can put them outside. We also have this beautiful sweet bonnet pepper plant. It's a non-heat version of the Scotch bonnet, but it grows these beautiful red peppers, and I'm thinking about transplanting that outside as well in this video, so stay tuned for that. We also have a Sugar Rush peach, which I don't know if it actually is a Sugar Rush peach, because this pepper right here, I thought they were supposed to be a cream color. This one ripened orange for some reason, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to do a taste test or something here. And we also have the KS white tie back here. It takes forever for these things to ripen, but if you can see, there are some peppers on it. It's in the back corner of the grow tent, so I'm not able to see it too well, but back there's one that's almost ripe. And if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I'll be giving away those seeds here pretty soon when they're ready to go. And then lastly in the grow tent, we have this habanada, which is not doing too well. I'm thinking about moving that outside as well. So we've got a lot of stuff to do today. So here's that first tray of flowers, and they're doing okay, but I think once they get hardened off and we put them outside, they'll be doing a lot better. And then here's the tray with some other peppers, tomatoes, a little bit of tobacco. Things look like they're doing pretty well. They're a little bit behind. These need hardened off as well before we can move them outside or do anything with them, so just gotta be patient. We're also gonna start harvesting all of these ripe peppers off of this plant, because I plan on taking some of the cuttings and propagating them and growing a few clones out in the garden. Also gonna cut back the habanada plant and do the same thing. We're also going to be moving both of them outside, so that way I can free up some space in the grow tent to do some other things. I also need to harden these off. I need to take these out of the grow tent for a little bit too. So this is where we're going to be placing them, nice in the shade. They're a little leggy, but with tomatoes you can plant all the way up to here and the roots will grow out, so it's not that big of a deal. Here's the flowers where I'm setting them for the first couple days. And then here are the tomatoes, jalapenos, and a bunch of other stuff. So that's where those will be sitting for the next couple hours. I don't know how well you can see that. Hold on. Here's a good little bunch that I was able to harvest. If anybody wants seeds for these, let me know because I'll save some. So these actually taste like I would say like more of like a fruity bell pepper. Obviously they're kind of inconvenient to cut up because you do have to like de-stem and de-seed them unless you like eating the seeds. But in my opinion, it tastes like a slightly fruity bell pepper. If that helps describe the taste of these, they were fun to grow. I don't know if I'm gonna do it again, but I think that's the fun in growing things, so you can try them yourself. So I'm also gonna pick this, what's supposed to be a Sugar Rush peach pepper, but that's not what it's looking like. So we're gonna pick that and see how it tastes, because I'm really curious. I had my family actually try some unripe ones because I thought that's what the ripe Sugar Rush peach pepper looked like. But unfortunately, this one started turning orange, so they were eating unripe peppers, and that's probably why they said they didn't taste very good. So I'm gonna pick this orange one here, and I'll do a little taste test right now and show you guys what it's all about. Alright, so here it is. Hopefully it's not spicy because I'm not prepared for that today, but we're gonna try it out right now. Alright, so that's interesting. That's actually really cool. I don't know what, I'm gonna save the seeds to these because I'm not sure what they are. I don't think that's a Sugar Rush peach because the Sugar Rush peaches are supposed to have a little bit of heat. This doesn't have any heat at all, and it tastes like actual fruit. Like I feel like I'm eating like it's not as sweet as a pineapple, but it's something close, which is kind of crazy. So, and there's only like 4 seeds in there, so this could be some type of hybrid that I got from Baker Creek. Apparently they're supposed to be heirloom, but this has 4 seeds in it. So we're gonna try and grow one of those 4 seeds because I've never tasted something like this before. It doesn't have any heat, and it barely has that pepper taste. Like if you were to eat like a raw bell pepper, it has that like, classic bell pepper taste. But this, it literally feels like I'm taking a bite out of fruit. So that's just really weird. So I'm gonna have to try and grow these again. I was not even gonna try this today, but I'm glad I did. So we'll see what happens. Also, another quick little message here. Any plants that I grow on this channel, if you follow me on Instagram and DM me about which ones you want, I'm going to keep a little catalog of all of the seeds that I grow, and I'll just send them to you, because I think part of the joy of growing plants is being able to grow different varieties that you can't find at the grocery store. I go into Kroger and they have jalapenos, habaneros sometimes, and serranos, like just all of the regular peppers that you would find, but you would never find something like this in the grocery store. And I think that if you're able to grow these at home and try them for yourself, it's just a really good feeling to adventure out and try different peppers, I'm going to grow more than just peppers. I'm going to be growing tomatoes, different types of cucumbers, everything. So every single type of seed that I am able to save this year, I'm going to try to and give them back to you guys. So we're going to try and propagate this point right here on this cutting from the sweet bonnet. You want to make sure you have a bunch of nodes, so every time it splits off, so like right here's one, here's one, here's one. You want to have at least, I think it's either 3 or 4. So we're going to take this and try and propagate it. And we're also going to do the same thing with the habanada and the mystery pepper that I just taste tested. So we're going to do a nice little experiment slash project to see which one propagates the best. So you want to make sure there's no unripe peppers, and you also want to make sure that there's no flower buds, because when you propagate, you don't want that energy to go towards those things. You want it to go towards root development. And honestly, I don't know if this is going to be too many leaves, but this is what we're going to stick with. So I'm going to do that for the next couple plants here in a second. So here are some of the cuttings. I just placed them in a water bottle, and now we're just going to sit and wait and see if roots take. And if they do, we'll be able to transplant them and grow full plants off of these cuttings. And now for the main event of this video, we're going to be turning a soil plant that I bought from the nursery into a hydroponic plant. So here we have them. Right here we have just called a chili red hot pepper. And right here we have a shishito. I'm going to be transplanting both of these into hydroponic systems with the Kratky method, and hopefully they will succeed and we'll get a bunch of peppers hydroponically from plants that were originally grown in soil. So you're going to need your plants, you're going to need your 2 buckets. Those are 2-inch holes drilled in the lids, so that way we can place our next item. This is what the plants will be sitting in. They're called net cups. I will also have links to all these things in the description below if you do not have them already. So our first step here is to take the hose and spray off all of the soil surrounding the roots. So now we have this is the shishito pepper. We've gotten rid of all the potting soil that was wrapped around the roots. What we're going to do next is put it in this net cup, and we're going to try our best to feed the roots through the slots in these net cups, so that way that when you put them in the bucket, the water and the nutrients is at the same level as the bottom of your roots. So I did a good job of getting these roots through this net cup. We're going to then fill the net cup up with all the remaining space. We're going to put clay pebbles in there, so that way it blocks out algae and other things from getting inside the bucket or the reservoir. Here's the pebbles that I'm going to use, and we'll be putting those in the net cups right now. This is what the plant and the net cup look like when you fill it up with clay pebbles. The plant is nice and supported, and now we're just going to fill the reservoir with water and add nutrients, and you're good to go. So there's the chili peppers, there's the shishito, and now all we have to do is add water up to where the bottom of the roots touch the water, and then we'll add nutrients, and they're good to go. You now have a plant that is transformed from soil to hydroponic. So I filled up each of the buckets with about 4.5 gallons of water. So all we're going to need to add now is the nutrients. So the nutrients that I use are Dynagrow and Dynabloom. When you want the plants to have good leaf and stem development, you're going to want to go with Dynagrow because it has a higher nitrogen concentration. At some point during the summer when these things are ready to start producing peppers, I'm going to switch to Dynabloom, and that has more potassium and phosphorus for fruiting. So right now I put in 4.5 gallons of water for each bucket, so that means I'm going to do about 4.5 teaspoons of nutrient for each bucket, and they should be good to go. Like, I'm probably not going to have to touch these things for a couple weeks. Okay, so that's not all. I thought we might be done for the day, but my grandma has been saving me these for a while and I kind of just forgot about it. So we have a bunch of seed potatoes here. As you can see, they've already grown out a little bit. She's been saving them. So we're going to try a new method today. We will not be putting these in the ground. We're going to be putting these in 10-gallon grow bags. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a base layer of soil on the bottom, and then we're going to bury them. So as they grow up, we're going to add more soil on top of them. And hopefully by the end of the summer, the grow bag will be full, and we'll just be able to take the grow bag at the end of the summer, dump it, and find out how many potatoes we grew. So we have a few different pieces here that we're going to be able to plant. A few of the eyes haven't sprouted yet, but they're trying to. And some of these have real small eyes on them. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Also, before we start the potatoes, here are the two peppers that are now hydroponic. Here's the chili pepper and here's the shishito. I put a rock next to it because it was having real issues staying up by itself. So over the course of the next couple weeks, it should grow strong enough to be able to support itself. If not, I can just keep the rock there. So let's get planting these potatoes. So here we have a 10-gallon grow pot, or grow bag, I guess. It's fabric, so when you water the plants, they will be air pruned, so you won't have any root bound plants. The roots will stop at the edge of the grow bag because they can feel the oxygen when they get close. So what we're going to do is we're going to put those potatoes in here, and we're just going to lightly cover them in soil, and as they grow up we'll add more, and by the end of the summer we should be able to harvest some potatoes. We'll be using gardening bed mix. So I don't think potting mix is necessary, but if they don't produce, then yeah, I messed up. We should use potting mix. So we've pre-wet our mix here, and we're about to put the potatoes in. And then once the potatoes are in there, we'll fill them up with more soil. So we've placed the potatoes in the grow bag, and we're going to fill them up with soil. I actually have quite a few left, so I'm going to try another experiment in the actual garden. So for the raised bed here, we have potatoes that I planted in this soil. And what I did was, this flower bed was full of a bunch of tall weeds and stuff, so I knocked them down, and I'm going to use them as some type of like straw slash mulch to keep away growth from around the patch of potatoes. Alright, so done a lot of stuff. We got a lot of things done for the day. I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram, and also follow my TikTok. You might be coming from my TikTok over here, but if you are from YouTube and you haven't watched my TikToks, go follow my TikToks. So all of that good stuff will be linked down below. Thanks for watching, and hope that your plants are growing just as well as mine.